Packers won, beat the shitty Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are so overrated, man. I think Tua is not great. I think people keep going, oh, Tua. He's got good receivers, and his quarterback is scheming his ass off for Tua. I don't think he's an elite thrower in any way. I would say he's an average quarterback in a great system.
Say what you want, but we're firmly in the hunt for the playoffs, baby.
You still need some other things to happen.
We need the Commanders to lose, and they play the Cowboys week, what is that, 18? Week 18.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, the Cowboys might be resting everybody.
I swear to God, that would be so Cowboys of them to not beat the Commanders, a divisional rival, just to screw us.
The Eagles could lock up the number 1 seed, meaning that the Cowboys are stuck at whatever wild card position they're at, because, yeah, would be killer for you.
So then am I rooting against the Eagles the rest of the year so that the Cowboys play hard in every game?
You better fucking not. I need them to win the division, so I win $100.
You need the Cowboys to win the division?
No, the Eagles.
The Eagles? Oh, okay.
I'm a season-long Eagles fan.
Your divisional parlay? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, kind of. Earlier in the season, I put $40 on the Eagles to win the division at plus 180. It pays out $72, and I get my $40 back. So you can do the math on that. It's over 112. And then I used 2 other free bets when I was in New Jersey because I got free bets. I mean, I had to use them before they expire or whatever. And I don't live in New Jersey, so I had to place the bets, No, last time I checked, hold on. Yeah, that doesn't say New Jersey. Anyway, yeah. So I put on some other parlays. Like I need the Eagles, Bills, Chiefs, and the Bucks to win the division to win $50. But then if all of those teams plus the Jaguars win the division, I win another $80.
Hell yeah!
And all those things are on the table.
Plausible. All very plausible.
Very plausible. Yes, looking great. But all right, folks. Without further ado here.
All right, folks, we're locked in. Big week in the football world, obviously. New Year's weekend. We want to say a Merry Christmas to all. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah. Chunka, whatever the hell they call it. And a Happy New Year. Big week, obviously, in college football with the New Year's 6 bowls going on, college football playoff, tons of other bowls. And as has been the case in the NFL for the past few weeks, heating up, seeding, divisional races, wild cards, obviously my Packers, heating up at the right time, if you ask me. 3 straight wins. We need to, we got to beat the Vikings this week. There's still a few scenarios that we get in if we lose to the Vikings, but I don't care if we were 0-15. I want to beat the Vikings. So big game this week. It's a big game no matter what, but with the added circumstances, it's even bigger. Aaron Rodgers looks like he's out for blood. He's connecting with his tight ends that are 70 years old, which is great. Always good to see. Christian Watson's coming along very well. I think he's going to be a force in the league, which means once he gets good, we'll trade him away. Naturally. Defense actually stepping up. We got the worst run defense in the country, but 3 picks on 3 straight drives against Tua, which say what you want about Tua, but that's a good offense over there. That's a good offense.
His receivers are good.
No, and that's been the unsaid truth of the Dolphins team, I think, is that, the system's there with McDaniel. I think he's a great coach. Obviously Tyreek and Waddle speak for themselves, past successes and just outrageous raw uncut speed. I think what they're missing now is a quarterback, and they'll be in that discussion with the Bills and Chiefs. I think they really do have that ability. I think Tua is definitely the one holding them back, because I think you look at that system. It's very similar to the San Francisco system, obviously, because that's where McDaniels came from. Sorry guys, fighting a sniffle again the second straight week.
You put it all on the line.
I did. I cleared myself for the game last week. went for it, and I think it doubled my recovery time up. So that's fine.
Almost killed us.
I did almost kill us. We won't get into that. Anyways, yeah, as I was saying, the Dolphins, good team, but just missing that quarterback piece, which in today's NFL, very important, as we're seeing. So, other news, let's see. JJ Watt officially announced his retirement. Never liked the guy. So I'm gonna be honest, was never really a fan of JJ.
Love JJ Watt. I love that guy. He's great.
Many unneeded to be described reasons for that, but just not a huge fan of him. Good to see he's out of the game. Good to see he's going to hang it up. I think he had heart condition or something like that was bugging him during the year. Which,
yeah, I heard he died terminally for a minute or two, and then they had to resuscitate him.
Oh my gosh, issue. That is tough.
He was dead for a few minutes.
Obviously that's no good. I don't wish that upon anyone, but good for him. He's retiring. That's all right.
Yeah.
Good riddance,
let's start here by going over the results of last week. Give me one moment to bring that up. So I'll start with me. I had the Jags money line cashed, Browns -3. Fuck you, Browns, as usual. Did not cash, and then the Bengals -3.5, which looked really good up until the fourth quarter, and they barely covered. The Patriots missed a field or an extra point at the end of the game. So that brings my total record up to 17-12-1.
17-12-1.
There are 2 weeks left in the regular season for NFL, meaning that if I get one more correct pick, I am guaranteed a 500 record, which would be huge. So 2-1 on the week last week. Good week for me. Not great. Could be better, but nothing to be angry about,
We all strive for that triple, that 3-0, obviously, but a 2-1 in most cases is just as good, because you're not. Are you actually going through your connection and putting these in as parlays?
No, I can't right now.
Okay. See, so unless it's an active parlay, 2-1's just fine, when you're looking at the season record. So
yeah, I was thinking actually about that when we get legal here in Ohio in 5 days. I was thinking about that on on those last 2 weeks. My best 3 picks. I'll just go put $50 on each one and see what happens.
There you go.
We'll roll it. Because I'm averaging. I'm looking here at the record. I've only gone 1-2 3 times out of 10 weeks. I've gone 3-0 twice. So realistically, it's not too bad, But yeah, without further ado, let's get to your picks. I know we're not going to spend too much time on this. It's just heartbreaking at this moment. I don't remember your specific picks. I remember you had BG winning yesterday, and they did not win. Do you remember your other two? I don't have them written down.
I cleared them out, I think. You didn't have them written down. I think I went 0-3.
No, I didn't either. Yes, you did. You did go 0-3. I'm sorry for the crowd. I do not have them right in front of me. That's on me.
So that puts me at
only 5-21-1. If you would just fade every single one of Tim's picks, you would have a significantly higher record.
You would have a good amount of money too if you actually put something down on them too.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe that's my spot on this show, is just fade me with everything. I have 5 wins, 5 picks. This is the 6th episode of this show, and we did it, I guess, 3 weeks unfilmed. I did. So, that's bad. We're gonna at this point, like I said a couple weeks ago, we're playing for pride. Take it one game at a time, 1 week at a time, and just see what we do. I haven't dabbled really at all in the NFL this year. Maybe that's my issue. I've only done one week where I did 3 NFL picks, and I actually went 2-1 that week, right?
Yeah,
isn't that crazy?
2 of your 5 wins came from the 1 week you did NFL.
And I pay so much closer attention to college. You'd think that I'd be better on that side, but I'm not. We'll see. Obviously,
college is hard.
It is very unpredictable. That's what's fun about it, though. And the NFL's very unpredictable as well. You got the Vikings coming back from 33 2 weeks ago against the Colts.
Unreal.
Yeah, football's just great in general.
Love it.
But obviously after this week, I'll have no choice but to only bet on the NFL. So that'll be good. We'll get into
That's
the
good for your
playoffs.
record. Very good for your record.
It'll look good. And then, hey, before you know it, March Madness will be here.
Oh
We'll be
no.
running. We'll be
Oh
running.
no. Oh,
All
yeah.
righty. Without further ado, I have obviously my 3 normal picks. I have a bonus pick, and then we're both going to break down the playoffs, kind of talk about that, just those 2, I guess 3 total games.
For the college, correct? Right.
The college. Sorry. Yes, the
Yes.
NCAA Division 1A
Thank
college
you for
football
specifying.
playoffs. Yeah, you're
I
welcome.
was thinking Division 2. I was thinking Division 2. That's on me.
Are they done? I think they're done. Like all the other divisions are done right now, but who knows?
Sure thing.
All right. Without further ado, my first pick in the Gator Bowl this Friday, I have South Carolina money line. That's plus 110. They're playing Notre Dame.
Ooh, that's actually going to be a good game. Is Fuckface playing for Carolina?
Fuck face. Spencer Rattler.
I fucking hate that. He is an ugly bastard, man. I hate that. He looks like such like a guy you'd like just want to get there and just pound his face. He looks like a dick fuck.
Yeah, I'd imagine he's playing. He's not going to the NFL anytime soon. So yeah, so they're playing in the Gator Bowl, the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl, against Notre Dame. That the odds on that, just money line, is plus 110. I like their chance. I mean, they beat Tennessee and they beat Clemson to finish the year off. So yeah. I mean, having them beat a always overrated Notre Dame team, I don't think is crazy in my mind. Spencer Rattler, ever since he was on that TV show, I've hated, but has kind of came into his own those last 2 weeks in those 2 games when he needed to.
He actually looked good, which is weird.
And as disgusting as it sounds, he was fun to watch. He was running around, he was slinging it across the field and everything. It was great to see. That being said, I like South Carolina money line. Moving on. I like Tennessee to cover 4.5 in the Orange Bowl. This is on Friday as well, I believe. I have them covering because
versus Clemson, right?
Is against Clemson. Yeah. I have them covering because obviously Tennessee's quarterback out, Hooker's out, torn ACL.
He's done.
Great.
Sorry, dude.
Amazing player, dude. And it breaks my heart to see that he, goes out that way. That's why I have him covering 4.5. I don't know if they can eke out a win against Clemson. Clemson, not really good either. DJ Unagadawadi is transferring out, which is good. I think he was one of the most overrated players as well.
He sucked.
He just wasn't good. They put that backup in against Syracuse early in the year, and he won the game for him. He won the game for him. DJ wasn't doing anything. They were losing to Syracuse until they switched quarterbacks. So
DJ sucks so bad.
Hopefully Tennessee can at least lose by 3. But yeah, that's the Orange Bowl. That's this Friday, the 30th. And then also on Friday the 30th, I have OU money line over Wyoming in the Barstool Bowl down in Arizona. OU MAC team, hard nosed. I love betting on the MAC teams, even though they never win. When I bet on them, at least. Bowling Green couldn't pull it out. Hopefully Ohio sees that and is like, we have to do something for the MAC here. Barstool Bowl, very excited to watch that. Fully broadcasted on barstool.tv. Portnoy Big Cat announcing the game. Gonna be fun.
Are they really?
Yeah.
That's sweet. That's actually cool. You said it's Ohio. Who are they playing? It's OU versus who?
Wyoming.
I don't know anything about Wyoming.
Me either. Last I heard of them is that's where Allen went. Josh Allen went, right?
Yeah, I mean that's the only thing I know about Wyoming, actually.
Mm-hmm.
What are the odds on that one?
Oh, the odds are,
or who's favored?
minus 114. The spread was Ohio plus 1. I didn't take the spread though, because I feel like +1, like that's pointless kind of. Like, what are the odds that someone loses by 1? Like, it's not very good. It's
They
not.
go for it for 2 instead of OT or something?
Yeah, and the odds weren't good on it. Like, it was still minus. I was like, that's not worth it.
Okay, I get you.
So yeah, money line -114, and then my bonus pick, rest in peace, Mike Leach. Big fan of him. I thought he was one of the best coaches in college football. Not always record reflecting that, but I think just the way he approached
football guy.
Football. Yeah, it was just so sweet. Like the way he gets in interviews and starts talking about his favorite candies or what mascot. My favorite video is what mascot in the Pac-12 would win in a fight if they all had a brawl. Love that, dude. They're playing Illinois, so both teams kind of plagued by tragedy this year. In the ReliaQuest Bowl. I don't know. It's next Monday, the 2nd. I'm taking Mississippi State money line -117. Hoping they can pull that out for old Coach Leach.
That's on Monday. You can actually bet on that one.
I actually can, and I most likely will with some free money.
Free money. Hey,
money, baby.
That team is playing for the world right now. So
oh yeah.
I think that's a very good bet. I love that bet.
And me, if Mike Leach was my coach, I'd put it all on the line out there. Well, I probably would week in and week out because
Mike Leach is my coach.
Football guy, football.
Yeah.
Yes, all right. Course. Those are my locks. Let's talk playoff, man.
Mm-hmm.
Big Ohio State guy, obviously.
Yes. Do you want me to go first on this, or you got it?
Tell me your realistic expectations for the Peach Bowl.
So, sorry. I want Ohio State to win, obviously. Very obviously. That's not even a doubt in my mind. Do I think they realistically will win? I think they win by like 3 or 4 or get absolutely destroyed. Lose by 21. Okay. No in between. If you were to ask me, Gabe, who's winning that game, I'm saying Georgia because I'd rather be right. So I got Georgia winning that game.
You think you think they either lose by a shootout or win closely? Is that what you're saying?
They lose by they get stomped. They get curb stomped. They lose by like 21. Like it's gonna be like LSU Georgia all over again.
How do they win?
It's gonna be a shootout. It's gonna be tight and close. We're gonna get it.
It's gonna have to be a slugfest to where they're trading touchdowns.
No, I think it'll be pretty. Yeah, because Georgia can't keep up, but their defense is good. So. I don't know. I heard a really good thing the other day. I forget where I heard it. It might have been on the radio or something. But it depends, I think, all on if Georgia decides to show up, because there's been many games this year where they did not show up. Kent State, Missouri, handful of games. It depends if they want to take it seriously. And I think it also depends on how OSU approaches. Are they going to play scared and conservative? Are they going to come out gunslinging? They got nothing to lose. Nobody expects you to win this game. Go for it all. And hopefully they obviously come out with the gunsling and go for it all. No one expects you to be here mentality. Yeah. And ideally Georgia just doesn't take it seriously. I think that's the way OSU wins this game.
I think OSU's biggest concern, obviously the way they win is throwing the ball and scoring a lot. You guys have a pretty good Big Ten defense, but it's not gonna. I don't see it holding it up enough to where, you can, settle for those field goals, back-to-back drives, or play the field position battle and kick it down, which everyone wants to shit on Stetson Bennett because, system, this and that. Still a pretty good quarterback. You stick him on a MAC team and everyone's talking about how crazy his stats are. It's just because he's overshadowed by this NFL factory down at Georgia where, he's not exactly putting up the stats because he doesn't need to. Defenses are keeping the other teams out of games completely to where he doesn't need to, throw 4 touchdown passes like Hendon Hooker did over at Tennessee, where their defense was abysmal. So, Hooker and Jalen Hyatt needed to connect for 4 touchdowns a game for them to have a fighting chance down there at the end. That's what happened with Alabama. But the way I see you guys, winning, if that does happen, which I don't know where my opinion really lies on that, or my preference really lies on that, because obviously I'd like to see a team we already beat before,
Mhm.
but at the same time, it's very hard to beat a team twice in one season. And that was proved.
And yeah,
That was
yeah,
proved with Alabama and Georgia last year.
yeah. And
And
and I
especially
don't.
in college.
I know we both think Michigan is going to beat TCU. We'll move on to that in a second. But as an Ohio State fan and you being a Michigan fan, and Ohio State, I don't think it's going to happen, but the possibility of an Ohio State versus Michigan national championship game, boy, I wouldn't be able to, like, that entire day is either going to be the greatest day of my life or the
Yeah.
worst day of my life.
No, 100%. And
It,
I can feel the flip side of that coin. I remember talking to Chris, I think I talked to you about this too, the week leading up to our regular season game. Nervous. I was
yeah.
nervous every single day.
Oh, fuck.
I
Yeah.
was like,
Oh,
I'm sitting
shit.
there the day of, and I'm sitting here shaking, kickoff. I'm so nervous. So I can't even imagine how I'd feel, going into that matchup in the national championship playing you guys. That'd be insane. But as I was
When was the
saying,
last time? When was the last time Michigan won a national championship? I'm
a
curious. That's not a dig. I actually don't know.
we won a non-consensus national championship in 1997, split it with Nebraska before the BCS.
Oh, okay. So I mean, imagine the hype though for Michigan. Their first national championship sent in what,
This millennia,
25 years.
this
Yeah, in this
millennia. Yeah,
25 years, and it happened to come against Ohio State. Like, oh my, I couldn't.
sure. But I think the way you guys
Oh,
win, though, if you do pull that out, is, you know you can't let CJ start feeling pressure, because I feel like the second he does, and it's been evident in the last two games against Michigan, the second that kind of gets into his head to where there's a defender in his face every time he's trying to throw the ball, his throws become errant. He starts throwing picks. He starts making bad decisions because he feels like it's all on him. That's where you have that little flip interception that he had late in the game against Michigan back in November. It's where you have bad mistakes like that. I think if you can consistently keep the connection between him and Marvin Harrison through the game, I think you guys have a good shot. You can be within striking distance there in the fourth quarter, make a push.
yeah.
Obviously,
I think the game will be better than other. Usually like the 1 versus 4 seed in the college football playoffs is usually a curb stomping. It's a snooze fest. It's not fun.
mhm.
I think
Yeah,
this
trust
one
me,
will
I
be fun.
experienced that last year.
Yes. But
It's
I
tough.
think it will be more fun than the average year because usually it's like Oklahoma gets in or something, gets curb stomped by Georgia or Alabama or
Yeah,
something stupid.
sure.
But yeah, without being said, TCU Michigan, I think Michigan wins that game. I think they win that game by probably 14. It's going to be a low scoring game, just how Michigan wants it to be. And
Mhm.
then at the second half, Michigan will take control. TCU's been running on nothing but magic this year.
I think I agree with the TCU comment. I have it written in my notes pretty much exactly what you just said. I think we established our dominance, the line of scrimmage in that first half. They're going to keep it close because Max Duggan, pretty good player.
I
And
could literally even
TCU's
see it being like 17-14 TCU at half, but then the
sure.
second half, nothing.
And yeah, I think there's a fourth quarter pull away, very similar to the game against Ohio State in November. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and that's fine with me. That's the way we've been built this year.
That's the
you know,
formula
it's
for
it's
winning.
taught it's taught me patience in a big way. It's taught me patience. I go into halftime chattering my teeth. Oh my gosh, we're down by 3 to Rutgers and end up beating them by 40. So, that's the way I definitely see that game going is kind of like Michigan's definitely going to establish that dominance on the line of scrimmage. Interior is going to be, you got a Pac-12 offensive defensive line on the other side. Not Pac-12, sorry, Big 12.
Yeah,
Who's not really
excuse you.
not really known for their dominance in the trenches. Meeting a hard-nosed Big Ten pro style team.
Yeah.
Um,
So
but
that
yeah,
being said, we both got Michigan in that game, probably by 14, maybe a little more, maybe 13, 10, some whatever. I think they
mhm.
pull away in the end. So I mean, who are you taking? Ohio State, Georgia? You never said. I got Georgia.
I'd take Georgia.
Okay,
I
so then
think
Georgia, Michigan. What are we thinking?
um, I think when you look at it, I think the only way, so consensus, you want to look at that. Georgia looks seemingly unbeatable ever since that slow start they had with Kent State and stuff like that. We said, there's games they look pedestrian. The national championship game isn't going to be a game where you see Georgia look pedestrian. I think you see a sloppy, kind of ugly game in the first half. Obviously, both teams trying to establish the run game because I think they're built pretty similar. Georgia obviously being a NFL factory and Michigan kind of trying to work towards that. You're going to see plenty of physicality. I do see a 10 to 14 point Georgia victory there, which
I think it'd be a much tighter game than last year.
Agreed.
I think it's going to be super close up until the end. If Michigan, again, we're talking hypothetical strictly at this point because we don't even know who's going to be playing in this game.
Sure.
But I think if Georgia were to play Michigan again, I think it would be tight. I think Georgia would probably have a lead at halftime, and then Michigan keeps it super close second half. Like they probably lose by less than 10, if not 10, 14 max.
Kind of comes down there.
I agree with you.
Which would be great to see.
You wouldn't even be that mad. You wouldn't.
That was a big motivator. I think, I've watched plenty of interviews and content from Michigan, and that's been a pretty big motivator in the off season, leading up to this year. Excuse me. Is that Georgia lost? Like that leaves a nasty taste in your mouth. Losing like that the way we did. So I think you do see a little chip on our shoulder, if we get in that situation. And obviously I hope we pull it out, but in a realistic sense, I think Georgia's just absolute physical dominance kind of takes over there. And as much as we want to kind of play that game as well, we just can't do it as well. So yeah.
What was the score of the Georgia Michigan game last year, real quick, before we move on to NFL? I know it was a lot to a little, but I just don't remember how bad it was. I think it was like 49 to 14.
Kind of cancel that out of my mind.
It's okay. I remember the 30 to nothing Clemson year. We were in the playoffs or whatever. Might have been 35 or something stupid.
34 to 11 was the final.
Yeah, I remember it being bigger than that. That's actually not disgusting.
But it should have been a lot more disgusting. Like the dominant, I think we had 3 points till the fourth quarter.
Yeah, so, I think you guys scored those because you guys went for
touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, with like 8 minutes to play.
With all that being said, we'll know the championship matchup next episode, so we'll discuss that further. Without further ado, let's move on to the NFL, where my Packers are just on fire right now.
Yeah. And sorry we get a longer episode here, but hopefully you guys enjoy it here. But yeah, like I said, I win one more of my picks for the regular season, and I'm guaranteed to finish 500 in my picks this year. So that's pretty cool. Big fan of that. But yeah, so pick number 1 for me this week. I'm going to go ahead and take the over in the Chiefs-Broncos game. Now, hear me out. I've been picking the under in the Broncos pretty much all season. And last time they played, I actually did pick the under, and I was pissed off because it lost. They went over. The over
What's
is
it set at
45 flat.
45 flat.
Yeah, so the Broncos got curb stomped by the Rams. Bad. I didn't see that coming. I thought the Broncos were going to win a terrible game, like 20 to 17 or something stupid. And then it ended up I think the Rams scored 51 points by themselves.
Yeah.
Just unreal.
Ended up being a shootout.
I think Kansas City's going to go in there and I think the Broncos will give it up. I think they've laid down and died.
After the firing of the head coach.
Yeah, yes, I completely forgot about that. Everyone's yelling at each other on the sidelines.
It's a mess.
Brent Rippey and the backup quarterback was apparently like getting in a fight with the offensive lineman during the game on Christmas Day. Apparently
that's a catastrophe.
Russell Wilson.
It's a catastrophe over there in Denver.
Yeah, and I don't know what you do to fix it. There are so many steps away, which sucks for them because they haven't made the playoffs since they won the Super Bowl with Peyton, Super Bowl 50. Yeah. But yeah, this week I love the over in that game. Again, it's over 45. That's what I got.
What are the odds on that?
I did not check, but that's on me. I'll send it to you after. But yeah, second pick here. You're not gonna like this pick at all, and I think you know where I'm going.
I know exactly where you're going.
It's at Lambeau this week, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Frozen
Yeah.
tundra.
Yeah. Vikings plus 3.5. I think the only way the Packers win this game, if they win, is going to be by a field goal. 3.5. That extra half is what really intrigues me. The Vikings would love nothing more than to, when you starting to feel hopeful, just say, "Nah, fuck you," and just kick you down.
100%. I agree.
They're not going to be coming in resting starters or none of that crap, even with or taking it an off week. No, they are going to absolutely come in and give you everything you can handle. They're not going to pull any strings. It could be they could be down by like 4 with like 2 minutes to go in the game. They're going to bring out everything they got.
That's where I think our defense that kind of stepped up late in the game against the Dolphins needs to kind of rear its head, because, you know, O'Connell's not going to leave anything to chance on the offensive side of the ball. You know, they're going to heave it up to JJ. You know, they're going to let Kirk Cousins do what he needs to do. And that's where our defense really needs to step up if we have a shot at keeping this thing alive. So.
Yeah. And again, I'm surprised that the Packers are favored by 3.5. They've had 2 good games back to back now, or was it 3? Are they won 3 in a row or 2?
We've won 4 in a row. 3 in a row. We've won 3 in a row. Three in a row. 3 in a row. 3 in a row.
Yeah, because the Rams. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But anyway, I get it. The Vikings have been winning a lot of close games, but I don't understand why they're favored to lose. Vegas knows more than I do, but yeah, that's my pick of the week. Vikings plus 3.5 at Packers. Last pick here. This is a little bias, no doubt. So being I did have $1 bet on the Eagles to win their division this year, and they win the division with either winning one of their next 2 starting this week, or the Cowboys lose one of their next 2 games, and then they win the division. This fucking close to winning it against the Cowboys, which they had 4 turnovers. When you turn the ball over times, you should not be in the game. Yet they lost by 6, and it's
a good team over there in Philadelphia. It's a good team over there.
Yeah. But yeah, they play the Saints this week. I did not check if it's in Philly. I think it is in Philly. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But I love the Eagles to cover 6.5. The Eagles want to win the division. They want to get that first overall thing, lock it in, because if they get it, the Packers, or if they get it, the Cowboys don't. And if the Cowboys don't get it, the Eagles are going to feel really good about that. I hope Jalen Hurts comes back, because I personally really need the Eagles to win this division.
You don't think Minshew can get it done against the Saints?
I really hope he can. I hope he can. But I thought the Browns were going to annihilate the Saints, because I thought they sucked, but the Browns pulled the Browns.
I'm a full subscriber to Minshew Magic, so, and always will be. So I'm a big Eagles fan last week. I'm a big Eagles fan this week. If he happens to play the last week of the year, I'm a big Eagles fan that week. So Minshew Magic, Minshew Mania, whatever you want to call it. Big fan. Love the stash. Love the beard he's got going now. He's bringing the flow back after he cut it. So it's great. He's good for football.
And we will be able to bet these NFL picks. Sports gambling is legal January 1st, which happens to be Sunday. NFL, all these games are on Sunday, so I'll probably put a free bet on parlay these 3 and see what happens.
Just roll the dice, let the chips fall where they may, type thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're running out of time. We did go a little long today, folks, ladies, gentlemen. Sorry about that, but yeah, you just get to listen and look at our beautiful faces a little longer. Obviously, like we said, big weekend in football, hence the long show. Obviously, college football playoff race heating up in the NFL. It's a great time to be alive. Sports gambling legal within days now. I don't know what more you could want as an Ohioan at this point.
It's great
as
to
an
be
American.
an Ohio guy. Yeah.
Damn right. All right. For Gabe, I'm Tim. This has been Shame-Ful Locks, episode 6. We'll see you next week for episode 7. Hasta la waffle.